Here, Millie. Merry Christmas. It's a lucky paper clip. I hope it brings you a good holiday.
Thanks, Tim. Help me out here. Why am I more excited about this than I was about that $25 check from my Uncle Frank?
Christmas. Traffic jams. 3 months of over-the-top commercialism and greed. A glut of news articles about this year's must-have fashionable toy. Family obligations. Lousy weather. The same 5 songs repeated. Ad infinitum, in every store. A million mundane, stressful, distracting, utterly non-spiritual realities, but it does have its good side. So, did you have a good holiday?
Pretty good, but I never quite get what I want there most.
Real estate?
Power to crush my enemies. Stand in the place where you leave. I've Millie, I'm trying to work. Could you do that someplace else? Mom, I'm an artist. How can art thrive if the artist is forced to cater to the whims of an ignorant, lowbrow public? The artist must have space. Freedom. Carte blanche. Being an artist would be easier if the public wasn't such a bunch of boogerheads. That's a pretty nice pillow fort, Millie. A pillow fort to the untrained eye, perhaps. But this structure is designed for more pressing concerns. Okay. So what is it? A fully stocked pillow Y2K shelter?
Millie, don't succumb to sensationalism. You don't actually need a Y2K shelter. A few things might fail, but the whole Y2K glitch thing is mostly hype.
True. On the other hand, my shelter has popcorn, pop, a VCR, and a large collection of cartoon videotapes. Homer, you can't eat that. It's bathroom grout.
But it's so tasty.
A new millennium. It's exciting, isn't it? Think of the possibilities.
It's not that big. It's really just a number. If our numerical system were base 12 instead of base 10, the same year would pass unnoticed. For that matter, a millennium is only a measure of time. Each instant is both the beginning and end of a 1,000-year period.
You're a blast at a party, Stefan.
Also, Einstein said time itself was relative, which might explain Keith Richards.
I guess the part I don't like is having to wear a skirt. It's not fair.
Well, I'm not used to wearing pants. It feels really weird. Do you think anyone will mistake me for Britney Spears?
If they do, I'm going to worry.
Doctor, I'm canceling the uniform policy.
You're what? Bullying and verbal abuse at record lows.
But this article says that trend in education is now passé.
The irony being that the policy was designed to reduce mindless trend worship.
Ooh. It says here that phonics are hot this season.
Well, we're back to dressing however we want.
Yeah.
I suppose we should look at the bright side and consider this a return to individuality. Ooh, I think that outfit is cool. Me too. Me too.
Return is a funny word, isn't it? Yes, Millicent?
Mr. Laurenblatt, I think you're holding us back.
Excuse me?
You teach us the same notes, scales and instruments to which musicians have been slaves for centuries. Take me, for instance, given the proper creative tools with which to flourish. What's to prevent me from revolutionizing the whole concept of music?
The fact that you practice roughly as often as you visit Saturn?
Oppressive tradition, that's what. All right, children, I'm now going to come around and collect your art projects. Fascinating, Millicent. You've painted with a very odd texture. It almost looks as if you've blown your nose on the. Maybe you were right, Ozzy. Maybe being an artist does require more than shock value.
Is that what you were going for? I had you pegged as a budding neo-Dadaist.
Ms. Sorkowitz? Yes, Millicent? I was wondering if, instead of doing the assigned art project, I could just erect a candlelit shrine to your eternal greatness. apparently. Pandering to one's audience isn't a great way to be an artist either. And now, presenting my art project. Cheese whiz. Invert the transparent eggplant hat. Millicent, the art assignment was to make a duck out of construction paper. Ms. Sorkowitz, artists need space.
To mindlessly do the opposite of what everyone else is doing is merely another way of making oneself a slave to popular opinion.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. Of course, the question was whether I should eat Fruitios or yogurt.
Yes, I chose memorable over relevant.
Ozzy, I heard on TV that if you make lists, things are easier. Will you write for me?
Sure, Tim.
Okay, let's see. Bananas. New Jersey. Forklifts. Elbow. Apple juice. Lex Luthor.
Tommelty, what is this a list of?
Lists have to be of something?
Ha 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 ha. Look at this. What? It's my dad's old yearbook. Can you believe people used to dress like that? Didn't they realize how stupid and funny those clothes were going to look later on? This one is so obvious I'm not even going to bother. You can just hear them going, boy. I wish someone would invent giant pants.
Oh my gosh. I'm a criminal. I just read that copying CDs onto cassettes is a crime. I'm a repeat offender. I could spend the rest of my life up the river. Why are you looking at me like that?
Like what?
Like I just morphed into a giant booger.
Just promise me you haven't been cutting tags off mattresses.
Millie, is your room clean yet? That seemed like an appropriate moment to activate the laugh track. Why do I sometimes get the feeling you don't take my authority very seriously? Millie, clean your room. You know she means business when she plays the Darth Vader theme music while she tells you, and with only 11 months to go. It's Bush and Gore battling to preserve substantial lead over MC Kane and Bradley in the grueling race for the nomination.
Okay.
Well, he's more attentive and aware than most adult voters.
What's the nomination?
Dr. Von Sinek, I'm reinstating the uniform policy. According to this article in Trendy Educator, uniforms are back in vogue with educational thinkers.
You know Belgium has nothing on you in the waffle department.
Who? Blackboards and chalk cutting-edge retro teaching.
Doesn't your hat violate the dress code?
Technically.
Well, aren't you worried you'll get in trouble?
I talked to Dr. Von Sinek, and she wrote me a medical excuse note.
Please excuse Ozymandias's hat. He needed to keep his brain from freezing.
I say, why not have both style and function?
Hello again, Millicent. I saved you a cookie.
Well, at last we match. You're no cooler than I am. Dress codes are the great social equalizer. You're now just as geeky as me, and you therefore cannot beat me up. Actually, with Jeremy, the great social equalizer is probably a bazooka.
How's the uniform working out, son?
Honestly, I'd rather pick my own clothes.
Understandable. Still, the notions of individuality we in the modern era take for granted have not always been in place. I have some experience with the matter.
So you don't deny being flamingly red, witness?
Well, no, Senator M.C. Carthy.
Ozzy's father in the era of McCarthyism. You, Mr. Llewellyn, are the most disturbing witness. Your very existence proves that firebrands of red subversiveness lurk among us every day.
Achoo.
You see? The flame of un-Americanism must be extinguished.
It might be simpler if you just ceased wearing so much hairspray.